As the global geopolitical landscape shifts under the weight of changing leadership and policies, the question of whether China can assume the mantle of global leadership once held by the United States has become increasingly pressing. Recent events at the Munich Security Conference have intensified this discussion as U.S. Vice President JD Vance's controversial remarks contrasted sharply with the more conciliatory tone adopted by Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi. This divergence illustrates a potential vacuum in international diplomacy that China may be poised to fill. Vance's speech, which drew ire from European leaders for its sharp critiques, left many in the audience unsettled about the future of transatlantic relations. His comments regarding the Russia-Ukraine conflict particularly resonated, prompting Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky to suggest that the long-standing partnership between Europe and America could be waning. This uncertainty is compounded by the return of Donald Trump to the White House, whose administration has already begun to withdraw from international forums and treaties, raising concerns among European allies about America's commitment to global stability. In stark contrast, Wang Yi's address emphasized collaboration and partnership with Europe. He expressed China's willingness to play a constructive role in brokering peace in Ukraine, a message that aligns with China's broader strategy of portraying itself as a peacemaker on the world stage. Wang's assurance of China's intent to deepen cooperation with Germany further underscores Beijing's aspirations to enhance its influence in Europe and the global arena. The implications of these contrasting approaches are significant. Graham Allison, a Harvard University professor and expert on Chinese affairs, remarked that as the U.S. withdraws from trade agreements and other international commitments, countries seeking economic growth will likely look to China to fill the void. There is no question that as a rising power, China wants to be all it can be, Allison noted, emphasizing the opportunities that may arise for Beijing as the U.S. retrenches. China's growing investments across Asia and Africa have already bolstered its influence, making it a key player in mediating conflicts in regions like the Middle East and Afghanistan. However, the close ties between China and Russia pose a potential obstacle to forging deeper relationships with European nations, particularly as Europe grapples with its security needs amid the ongoing war in Ukraine. Yao Yang, director of the China Center for Economic Research at Peking University, underscored the importance of Europe adopting an independent foreign policy towards China if it wishes to enhance ties. He suggested that as the U.S. prioritizes domestic issues under Trump, Europe should also focus on its defense and security, thereby creating opportunities for collaboration with China. Nevertheless, Yao cautioned that for Europe to trust China, it is essential for Chinese leadership to avoid agreements that compromise European interests. The dynamics at play are further complicated by the recent closure of the U.S. Agency for International Development (USAID), announced by Trump as part of a cost-cutting initiative. This decision has left a void in America's global humanitarian efforts and may provide China with an opening to expand its soft power in the global south. Chinese officials have indicated that the retreat of USAID could enhance Beijing's ability to promote its image and influence in developing nations. In this evolving landscape, the question remains: can China realistically replace the US as the global leader? While it is clear that Beijing is positioning itself to capitalize on American withdrawal, whether it can gain the trust and support of European nations and other global players is uncertain. As both countries navigate a complex web of diplomatic relationships, the future of global leadership hangs in the balance. The developments at the Munich Security Conference and beyond will likely shape the trajectory of international relations in the years to come, making it crucial for stakeholders to observe how this competition unfolds. In a rapidly evolving geopolitical landscape, the competition between the United States and China has intensified, particularly in Latin America. As Chinese influence expands through investments and infrastructure projects, the U.S. faces the critical challenge of recalibrating its approach to the region. Robert Mosbacher Jr., a seasoned expert in international development and former president of the Overseas Private Investment Corporation, argues that the U.S. must leverage its unique strengths to effectively counter Chinese economic dominance. Central to this discourse is the observation that while the U.S. government prioritizes issues like immigration and drug trafficking, a comprehensive strategy to curb China's economic expansion in Latin America is equally vital. The Chinese Belt and Road Initiative (BRI), a multi-billion-dollar global infrastructure development program, has allowed China to secure significant access to critical resources and infrastructure across the region. For instance, China now controls approximately two-thirds of the energy sector in Chile and has established a significant presence in Peru, culminating in the recent inauguration of a $3.5 billion megaport north of Lima, which serves as a crucial node in the BRI. China's ascendance as a predominant trading partner for many Latin American countries, excluding Mexico and Colombia, underscores a stark shift in economic allegiances. Mosbacher Jr. emphasizes that the U.S. has been sidelined, often perceived as a passive player in this arena. As he aptly notes, the Chinese bring their checkbooks and the Americans bring their notebooks. A sentiment reflecting the urgent need for the U.S. to change its tactics. This evolving dynamic poses not only a challenge in terms of market share but also an ideological confrontation between free market capitalism and state-controlled economies. The U.S. approach of merely discouraging partnerships with China has proven ineffective. Instead, Mosbacher Jr. advocates for the construction of a viable American-led alternative to Chinese investments, particularly in the realms of critical minerals and infrastructure. To achieve this, he suggests mobilizing U.S. and international public institutions to support investment initiatives in Latin America in collaboration with the private sector. The U.S. International Development Finance Corporation (DFC) is positioned to lead this charge, leveraging its extensive funding capacity and established track record in low-income countries. By aligning financial support with host country priorities and working alongside institutions like the Inter-American Development Bank, the U.S. could facilitate projects that foster economic growth and improve infrastructure. A successful collaborative effort could not only establish momentum but also create a replicable model for future investments. Mosbacher Jr. highlights the importance of securing participation from U.S. and international banks to ensure that these projects are adequately financed and executed. While it's clear that the U.S. cannot compete dollar for dollar with Chinese state-owned enterprises, there are unique strengths to be harnessed, particularly in innovation and entrepreneurship. The forthcoming U.S. administration will face a pivotal test: whether it can effectively contain Chinese influence in Latin America by offering alternatives that resonate with American values and long-standing ties to the region. As the competition for economic and ideological dominance heats up, the strategies employed by the U.S. will be crucial in shaping the future of its relationships within Latin America. The stakes are high, and the need for a proactive collaborative investment strategy has never been more urgent as the U.S. seeks not only to regain influence but also to drive sustainable growth in a region increasingly swayed by Chinese investment. In a period marked by rising geopolitical tensions, Taiwan has reported a significant increase in military activity in its vicinity, with 24 Chinese military aircraft detected near the island on February 16, 2025. This display of aerial presence comes amid deepening concerns over China's intentions and military capabilities, fueling fears of escalation as Taiwan continues to assert its sovereignty. Taiwan's Ministry of National Defense has characterized these maneuvers as provocative, labeling China a troublemaker in the region. The ministry noted that the detected aircraft included fighter jets and bombers, which were reportedly involved in military exercises. This incident underscores the growing military pressure Taiwan faces from its neighbor, which has ramped up its military activities in recent years, particularly around the Taiwan Strait. The implications of such military posturing are profound. Analysts suggest that these actions may serve multiple purposes for China, including testing Taiwan's defense readiness, demonstrating military strength, and sending a message to both domestic and international audiences about its commitment to reclaiming what it views as its territory. The situation has escalated to a point where Taiwan's defense authorities are closely monitoring the situation, prepared to respond to any potential threats. In tandem with these developments, the United States has also made headlines regarding its policy stance on Taiwan. In a notable shift, the U.S. has revised the language on its official websites, moving away from explicitly stating that it does not support Taiwan's independence. This nuanced change reflects the U.S. government's recognition of Taiwan's strategic importance in countering China's influence in the Indo-Pacific region and signals a potential pivot towards a more supportive stance for Taiwan. The evolving military landscape is not just limited to Taiwan and China, it extends to the broader implications for U.S. defense strategies. The Pentagon is actively working on deploying AI-enabled satellite technology that could enhance its military capabilities, particularly in the context of potential cyber threats emanating from adversaries like China. The focus on autonomous satellite systems emphasizes the need for resilience in the face of increasing military competition in space. Experts highlight that AI satellites could provide crucial advantages such as the ability to operate independently and analyze vast amounts of data swiftly, which is vital for maintaining military superiority. As China advances its anti-satellite capabilities, the U.S. military is recognizing the urgency of developing technologies that can withstand and adapt to these threats. The situation remains fluid, and as Taiwan continues to navigate the pressures from mainland China, the international community is closely watching how these dynamics unfold. The increasing military presence in the region, coupled with changes in U.S. policy and advancements in military technology, suggests a future where the stakes in the Taiwan Strait are higher than ever. With both Taiwan and the U.S. ramping up their defenses and strategic postures, the coming months will likely be critical in determining the trajectory of cross-strait relations and regional stability.